Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Town of Sheldon Selectboard Water Commissioner meeting for Monday, August 25th. Today's agenda: new business, Highway Department report, water shutoff action and grievances, Planning Commission and Development Review Board vacancies, Town Administrator's report. We need to sign and approve minutes from the August 11th meeting, payroll warrant 2529, and accounts payable warrant 31701. Under old business, we have a local hazard mitigation plan to adopt, Pleasant Street traffic speeding, pest complaint on Pleasant Street, Laurel Drive, Mill Street sewer project update, salt shed project update, financial proposal, fence proposal, and then act upon any other business proper when met. Do we have anything else for tonight's meeting?
Not that I have for you.
Executive session.
Okay. So executive session at the end of regular meeting and then adjourn?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
I guess as a liaison maybe from the PTO, we would like to discuss possibly being able to fix up the dugouts and other field areas at the school. Again, school says it's the town, so there seems to be a mystery of responsibility. And PTO certainly would love to contribute, but we can't afford an entire renovation that needs to be done. And both Abby Miller and Courtney Norris and Sabrina Stebbins all would like to discuss that. It's just a future plan.
All right. You have anything for us, Greg? Anything for us?
No.
Okay.
Good enough to do.
All right, let's get started with our guests.
It's going to be me.
Yeah, well,
Okay, I'm first. Okay, so I'm here. I sent a letter to every select board member about a formal complaint. And I'm hoping all the select board members did receive my formal complaint as an email. I don't know if you guys had time to read it. I know it wasn't discussed at the last meeting according to the minutes. Matt, our town administrator, just wrote in the minutes that the Pleasant Street issues of speeding has been discussed. There's no details in his minutes, so I can't go any further than that because it lacks detail. So I don't know what was discussed. So I'm here to see if you guys want to discuss my formal complaint, which I wrote, which I am deeply concerned about the speeding and traffic on Pleasant Street, but it's not only Pleasant Street. We're talking some of the community members. Some of them are going to write letters, and some of them just wanting to talk to me. There's a very big concern on Main Street, Bridge Street, Pleasant Street, and now Central Street, where a woman told me at the library the other day she can't let her son ride his bike on that road because they cut off Pleasant Street and go flying around and stuff like that. So the meeting on July 28th, I pulled the draft minutes off the wall. And it did say that we discussed where some speed bumps could go up. And at that meeting, my understanding was that the select board did agree to think about putting speed bumps up. And I don't mean the homemade rubber mat one that Seth put up first of all in front of my house to block my driveway, and I had to call Steve and have him move it. Which my personal feelings is Matt was there also, that they did it intentionally, because I'm the one that wanted it done. I can't speak for them, I can only speak how I feel. I cannot let my grandson walk down those roads, ride his bike, or walk our dog because traffic is so bad. Tonight when we got here, a car 56 miles an hour by that sign. Sure, the first few days that sounds wonderful, tells you how fast you're going. Now they're ignoring it, it's not doing anything. I talked to Mr. Griswold himself, I called him, and he informed me that he gives you guys some stats about what he performs in the town. He told me that he didn't know if you guys looked at the stats real close, and he did not explain it. That town of Sheldon gets 16 hours right now. The town of Sheldon gets more tickets in those 16 hours than his town does in the 40-hour contracts it has elsewhere. So, my concern is, you put up a Carol Matt speed bump, you took it down, which wasn't the right one supposed to be there. So, people were bitching and complaining about it. Do I blame them? No. Did it last the weekend? No. We all knew discussing this, that there was gonna be complaints. And we all knew there was gonna be horn honking and tire squealing, you know? So I'm willing to live with it if it saves a life or saves me getting hit. I have been almost hit in my car by cars passing in front of my house 3 or 4 times, you know? And my concern is, you put the speed bump down, so you're all aware there's an issue in this town of speeding and people being very dangerous and careless. You pulled the speed bump up, you put a sign on which doesn't amount to crap now. So my concern is something happens, who's gonna be reliable knowing that you guys are all aware that there's an issue there and you are not addressing it in the proper manner? I suggested speed bumps, yes, I realize they're expensive, but can you put a price on a kid's life that gets hit on a bike? Can you put a price on a dog that gets hit? Or somebody's car that gets smashed? Sure, there's insurance, but you guys are all very liable for it because you admitted it. You set a speed bump up and you took it down. So I'm here to address, I wanna know what's gonna happen. That sign can't stay there forever, it's not doing its job, and I realize it. And I don't want anybody to say, well, we can't do anything 500 feet on Pleasant Street, which Stephen Dodd at the last meeting I watched. I'm not concerned just 500 feet on Pleasant Street. I'm concerned further up where you start coming down. Let's do something up there. Let's make them slow down before they get into the town. You know, let's do something after the corner. We told you how Diane Crane says, they go on that corner, they step on it, and they fly by. You can't back out of her yard. Somebody's gonna get hit. Maria's in a bad spot. You know, and so isn't the rest of it. Main Street by Rodney Whitey's. I'm sure he's complained. Speeding up there, not slowing down on Main Street. Yeah, they're gonna go through a stop sign. Maybe they're gonna roll through it. Maybe they don't stop. You know, yes, it's against the law. I agree. Should they be doing it? Absolutely not. But are they going 50, 60 miles an hour where there's kids, dogs, and people walking their kids?
It seems to me like they're more worried about a car rolling through the stop sign at 2 miles an hour than they are somebody going 50 to 45. This morning when I went out to get my pickup, another pickup went down through 51 miles an hour. That's bullshit. Somebody's gonna get hurt or killed. Matt, you got little kids right across the road. You know as well as I do. They're out there playing, a car gets out of control, goes across this lawn, and kids are out there playing, what's gonna happen? Can you put a price on that? No. I don't give a shit what the max cost.
Excuse me, but is the sheriff?
16 hours a week.
16 hours a week, he's
Nine
more
to
worried
noon.
about this stop sign than he is Pleasant Street.
Right, and then 9 to noon, Greg, come on. We know the speeding's first thing in the morning, and we know the speeding's in the evening at night.
So they come at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right, so they come 8 to 9. Yeah, they didn't come one night till 9 o'clock. We saw them maybe 45 minutes to the tops.
And no cars went by.
Right. You know, so you can't say the sheriff's department, we get 16 hours a week.
Yeah.
In those 16 hours you design, or he configure, he is trying to change hours, he did tell me, but he can't be here and he can't be everywhere those 16 hours. Yeah, 16 hours A is not enough to cover the
But
stuff.
if they,
that's
out of
going
that
on.
16 hours, if they come from 4 in the afternoon till 7 at night, instead of 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 9 o'clock in the morning, which means shit, you know,
It's just really frustrating because we're putting people's lives and vehicles and animals and everything on the line. This has been an ongoing thing, and I'm not the only one that's complaining because I've made several phone calls and they say to me, we've called the town clerk, we've called the town administrator, we've done stuff, and they're like, nothing's happening.
so the other night, I pulled back, I was headed up the street, backed up, nobody coming. I'm going up to visit Cricket. So I got to the bottom of the hill, Tori's wife was behind me, and then the black SUV behind that, which I know who it is, can't prove it because the window's not blacked out, but he lives up on the hill, you know what I'm talking about. He pulled right out and passed both of us.
Going up the hill?
Yes.
Or,
Well, just getting ready to go, right on the barrel corner, both.
You know, so there's an issue and you guys should be, I mean, I get it, you're saying the speed bumps are pricey, but this is an ongoing issue, and now it's getting to the point where there's more traffic, there's more cars on the road, and we all know about the younger drivers, how they are today. And I sent a video to everybody about the car doing donuts. I don't have an issue with doing donuts, but doing it in an empty parking lot. You don't do it where 5 minutes before that, 3 kids walked up the road pushing bicycles. They could have got killed. That car was out of control, almost went off the road, and I was praying it would just like walk home and call the cops.
Where are they doing the donuts?
Right from the whole hill, right down the intersect.
Oh, right
And
there.
Round and round and round and round.
Then they did them down here around the corner, if you see the black marks past Diane Crane's. They were doing it there, they went to the top of Kane Road, then they headed into Enosburg and proceeded to do it in Enosburg.
All right.
So,
And, doing that with cars.
Yeah, that was a car. Yeah.
and I did call the state police, I fitted the video and the plates didn't match the car. So, then I sent it to our sheriff's department too, in case somebody could recognize the car. But if we had something there, he couldn't have done that. He couldn't have done the donuts and fishtailed up the road, almost went off the road, yanked it back. He was on the wrong side of the corner. Like 5 minutes before that, 3 kids were pushing the bicycles up the road. Did that guy know that, doing donuts and going out of control? Absolutely not. I saw the kids.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with you when he was doing donuts. I was on the phone with Matt.
Well, they go up around that corner, they're going so fast, they're on the inside of the curb. What if somebody's coming down?
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty noisy there for a minute. It ain't gonna be very fun, it ain't gonna be fun. It's dangerous, I don't care, it just, people have got no common sense anymore, anyway.
Right.
Common sense ain't that common.
Right. I mean, there's twice as more cars, twice as
You
much.
know, if you got half a brain, when you pull into a village, any village, I don't care where, you slow down.
They're supposed to.
Yes.
I will say that Pleasant Street lends itself to,
Oh, I know.
it,
They come down into town.
well, you
Yeah, they come
into
down.
town, tonight I came here, and I came down into town. If you're not on the brakes, that vehicle will just
Oh,
start.
yes. So, yeah, there's a
It'll
young
just
all the
start-
way.
So if you put speed bumps up further, it's gonna help.
Oh, it's,
I
well,
mean,
I've suggested at one meeting.
not just one, and not just the one between Matt and my house.
Well,
We
no,
need to have more than one.
Speed bump needs to be up by the Cattell farm.
Exactly, one of them, up in there somewhere.
That's where it needs to be.
And one just about where you had the last one, and another one down by Diane Crane's. It should be 3.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the town clerk about the complaints that we'd received on the speed bump, and they weren't, the majority of the complaints weren't about the presence of the speed bump, but about the construction of the speed bump.
Those bumps that are in Petersburg, them are nice bumps. And they work. I mean, them son of a gun, if I don't almost stop, back my pickup and drop a ground.
But the one on, was it Pleasant Street, they have one now?
Yeah.
That one's, we went over that one last night to go to Bluen, so that's, it's 25, and they have one there too. So they have 3 on Orchard Street and 1 on Pleasant Street.
Yeah.
And it's slowing traffic right down.
Kenny and Frank told me they want to put one more on Pleasant Street, they want to have 2 on Pleasant Street.
Yeah.
But they got a problem there too, people come turn their Jimmy's there, head down some Pleasant Street. And away they go.
Right.
So the last time we discussed using some asphalt as well for speed bump.
That's what I thought was going.
That ain't gonna work.
That won't
How
work.
you gonna plow that in the winter?
Take it off. You're not gonna leave speed bumps there either.
Exactly, but asphalt, that's,
I don't
Well, it's a lot less expensive than it is to buy a speed bump. for-
well, there we go again. You're putting a price on people's lives. How can you do that? You can't.
Right, but to order a speed bump right now, by the time you get it,
It'll be winter.
but
There'll be spring, won't there?
there's plenty of asphalt around right now that you could put speed bump in.
For
And then-
temporary fix until you get a.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you could go over there, you can go up there and dig a hole across the road.
And you'll be lucky when you peel them up, if you use a grader or bucket or whatever, you'll peel up more than what you put down.
I don't know.
Then you got a pothole
They'll still slow down.
for the time being,
That's what your plow truck said.
but why ruin your street asphalt?
Do you think it'll stick that hard?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
I know I will.
Okay, you don't worry about that, and
I've worked in that business for
I know.
all my life.
Coal patch won't stay, will
Coal
come
patch, coal patch will stay for a while, the plow will take that right off, no
All
problem.
right, so
Coal patch.
if we put coal patch,
Well, coal patch, you might have a half a chance.
yeah,
The plow will peel that right off, put it on the lawn.
So are you saying to put the coal patch down now and then order them through the winter so we can have them in the spring?
That might be the compromise, because I don't think you're gonna get your hands on,
Oh, no, probably not, but they need to come.
The other thing is that like St. Albans City used the proverbial cow mats.
We had the cow mat one.
Well, no, I know, but I mean, they have used it and it has worked and slowed it down. It's not ideal, but that's also an intermediate.
All their work down there, and I don't know where they got speed bumps, I ain't never seen it.
They put some on by the ball fields on what's that?
Or, I can't think of the name of the street.
Down behind the creamery. The ball.
Oh, yeah, yes, that's right.
They put
Yes, that's right.
they just
the low coal patch.
All this street.
and just
Yeah.
during ball season.
Maybe
Yeah, they did.
the coal patch won't stick to the asphalt,
No,
but it should stay there long
They
enough.
wouldn't stay there long enough unless somebody stops and starts to spin. But why not? I mean, we had one guy up the road do that with that other one.
Yeah, there'll be
You
all
know,
sorts.
but like the guy in Enosburg told her, he says, you're gonna get that for 2-3 weeks, and then it's gonna die down, and then it's gonna be,
Yeah,
you know.
Well, right now we're getting it without the speed bumps because
Oh, there you
people
go.
are blowing donuts and doing whatever they
Right.
want.
Yeah.
So they're still putting down and making noise and doing everything else.
Yeah,
I don't live over there, Maria. You also live there, so you can probably attest to.
you either gotta put a bump in the road or dig a hole in the road.
Well, you better not put the bomb with the coal patch, but if you put hot mix, that ain't gonna be good.
That's not, but I'm just saying.
But put coal patch there, you can make a nice, you know, this side probably, like the bumps in Enosburg, kind of
Open measure.
make them, you know, put a coal patch out across, yeah.
Yeah,
That'll
that's
work.
readily available. You can get some tomorrow.
Do we have the signage yet? Any sign?
Yeah, they came in today actually.
Okay.
So I
The
would,
Wilson Pike's got a whole shed full of coal mix.
yeah.
Would it also be worth it putting those at the stop signs?
What?
We have speed bumps.
Oh.
We have
I don't know if
reports.
you can put it directly at a stop sign, can you, Matt?
I don't
They
think
have
so.
to,
They want-
you're gonna have to come back.
The recommendation is to put them a certain distance away from intersections, so not at stop signs, but.
So we could put it at a certain distance because we have people blowing through the three-way up here.
Yeah.
And
right.
it's-
And then you go towards
Yeah.
Fairfield too, when you come up over that
Okay,
hill,
well,
you just.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
it's down
certainly-
50, so.
Usually what's done in that case is you either you make like a raised sidewalk where the stop line sign is, or you actually raise the entire intersection, which obviously would be a whole other thing, but that's when they have those sorts of things at intersections, those tend to be the things that are recommended. Either the sidewalk being completely elevated or the whole intersection, so that it acts like a gigantic speed tape.
So we'll put some coal patch bumps in.
That'll help. I mean, you can't hurt
No,
But I mean, it also helps if we put it here because then there's not a focus on people blowing through these stop signs with the sheriff's department. They can go focus
Exactly.
their attention elsewhere because
it. Well, I came up
Those are
Bridge Street one
effective.
night and I pulled up stop sign in a pickup. He must have been in a hurry to get Fairfield. He never even 40 miles an hour through the stop line.
and where are we on the transition speed zones?
We contacted our NRPC about doing a study on that, but I don't know if we can, I don't know if we can change the speed limit on a paved road without having a traffic study done.
But we contacted them and then
Yes.
they responded or
Yes,
they.
yes. We haven't got anything scheduled yet, but basically they said, yes, we're on board to do that.
So can we schedule something soon?
Let's see.
speed bump, or I mean, transition speed, what's that?
Because they're talking about how the speed goes from 50 to 25, but like slowing it down beforehand. So they're coming down the hill, hitting 40 beforehand. They should be
It's
slowing
35
down.
up on there.
It's
It's
35.
slowing.
It's
Well,
35.
for me. it
Right,
was-
but over here on Main Street, for example,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
it's 25 right before Bulldogs, and then
Yeah, yeah.
and then immediately it goes 25.
Yeah, now on the other end, it's
And then it's-
25 right at.
Well, they're supposed to.
John Tate.
Is there a reduced speed sign out there?
There is, but I think the signs could be better because it says reduce speed ahead, and then it says stop ahead,
Well, it's got 25.
and then it says
on there.
25, and then it says stop, and then there's a stop sign. But
Well, that's,
Coming from Fairfield.
Well, I'm just saying, 1,000 feet ago, it said stop ahead, and you finally get to the stop sign.
Well, you shouldn't be going 50 at the stop sign.
Correct.
But they are.
But,
Yeah, they are, they're blast through.
Well,
and we did,
Shouldn't be, you shouldn't be going 50 on Pleasant Street either, but we've seen that thing registered.
I know, hey, I'm guilty.
Well, we all are, I like myself,
I'm
coming down that hill,
guilty.
like you said. But boy, I catch myself, I come on the brakes. That's-
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah, you could be just like, oh,
Coming home from
sitting
work,
there.
I'll be thinking about something else.
The vehicles,
But now I got used to this, up by Dan, well, that's where it turns 35, right up there.
yeah. Well, tonight, I slowed down to 35 at Danny Lucier's.
Yeah, that's where it turns.
Yeah, yeah, but that truck wanted to go even though I didn't put any throttle
You
to
gotta
it at
run the
all.
brakes all the way down through there. I know.
You
I'm
gotta-
traveling ahead every
It
day.
just kind of, the vehicle lends itself.
Oh, yeah, it's way going downhill, and it's cheaper, of course, than coming down.
Yeah, the newer vehicles, they got that freewheeling mode to them.
Yeah,
They're not like, 3 on a tree there. Yeah, if you didn't have your foot on the throttle, it didn't go.
right, exactly.
It's like coasting.
Yeah, but if we pave that next summer, it's not gonna get better either, because then we're gonna give them a racetrack and they're gonna get
Oh, I'm
worse.
glad you said that. Something else. If you pay that next summer, you're gonna have to do something with that right away, because cars aren't gonna drag bottom in there now. The last time they paved that up through there, of course, they grazed it. And it makes, well, you know what it's like. And our rigs don't bother, but somebody come in there in a little car and it's about this far from hitting. So if you pave it again, they're gonna hit.
Okay.
So you either gotta grind it through there, take some out and redo it, or make us a long apron into the driveway.
Pave your driveway.
Well, into it some, take, go into the driveway, 10, 12 feet.
Yes. Yes.
I got like a 5-foot apron right now, a 6-foot apron right now, that's what that was put that in.
Yeah.
Wow, back when I was helping them, I had some extra mix left on and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how that come, but. Yeah, if you raise that up another 1.5 inches, it ain't gonna bother us, but it won't
Yeah.
bother anybody else that wants to come in there.
Different vehicles.
Yeah, any car, you don't hit bottom.
Is there any way we can look into special designations for the village area as well? Because I know like speed corridors, fines would double or anything like that, so that if there's enforcement for speeding, that the fines are significantly increased as an additional deterrent for those who are stopped.
I don't know the answer to that.
No, yeah, this is that good.
Yeah.
And maybe there can be, but maybe if there can be, then that's something else that we.
It didn't used to be bad up there, but the last 2-3 years, 2 years especially, and this summer has been horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
I mean, the other thing is, we're only budgeted for so much for law enforcement, and
No, I know.
I mean, can we scrape together more money from here or there? Maybe, but at the same time, like we have to budget for that ahead of time, let people vote on
And you-
how much they want to
You
spend.
would think, I know, it's budgeted to the sheriff, they're hired to do that. But why can't the state cop do something? Sheldon still is in the state of Vermont. And that's their jurisdiction, no? So why can't they do a little bit?
I mean, I know they've had staffing issues for some time now. People don't.
I don't know.
That's a statewide issue right now with them, right?
But I did call
everywhere.
the state police the day
Yeah.
that I was, and the lady said, send me the video.
Yep.
And I did, so I mean, they were acting on it, she asked me my phone number so they could call me and stuff, so they did do something that day, I mean, they did reply and they did call me back, but it's, lots of times they
But
don't.
it's not a trooper there.
Right, there's not a trooper
Right.
here.
There might not be a
And
trooper
they're not
around.
in town, right, you make
Yeah,
a
there's
phone
only a
call.
handful of them, I guess.
That's why we contract.
About 6, somebody said 6 of them? 6 or 8 of them down for the whole county, like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was gonna say, over the district, I don't want that covered, but
but,
pretty good size
yeah,
area.
that is my main concern, I noticed last meeting, it just said it was discussed, there's nothing on the minutes saying what it was discussed, so I wanted to come up today to make sure that the formal complaint has been addressed, and that everyone did have it.
So what does it take for us to, after this, we take a vote on it, or we just put it in, and if we're putting cold patch speed bumps down there, we have to get like some sort of specs on what they can be here, or,
You just said we were gonna do it.
I know, but.
I can't get you prices, I do have some engineering.
Got a coal pipe, son, that'd be fine. for the rest of the
Yeah.
year.
I mean, even if you have to just go up and measure the ones that's up on Pleasant Street or Orchard Street, and just to see how high they
I think we have like,
I think
2 foot on the bottom like that, and just kind of round them up, say 6 inches, 8 inches high. Like, about that.
Right, but like Maria was saying last time, those weren't 25 mile an hour. Those ones up in Enosburg are supposedly for 25 miles an hour.
Right, that's
You can't go over 25 miles an
Oh,
hour.
God,
No.
no. Oh,
No.
no, God.
They're way too aggressive.
Right,
Oh, my God, yeah.
but the one on Pleasant Street wasn't bad.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think it is.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just saying we have to look into what, you know,
What the dimensions are.
yeah, of the
And
speed
see
bump.
if you
and
get-
everything.
They're very bad with that one in Enosburg, but my pickup, whoa.
Yeah.
Enosburg? I don't want to be going over that. That's bad.
They did.
I'm gonna wreck your car.
The street one, on Orchard Street.
I'd take the,
They don't speed down through there.
really.
No, but I don't think we can have
I
it
would go
going
out
less
in the
than
coal
25.
patch. I would go out in the coal
We could just
patch,
get them
I'd
to
put that in
40
the
though.
street and say, well, let's try this. And then I'd get in the vehicle and drive down through like, well, I don't feel too bad.
If you
Well,
want
maybe
to
the
feel
big,
bad.
well, you're right. You want it happy medium. You don't want it so bad it's gonna tear the,
But you don't want,
to tear the Kelvin off.
but like in Enosburg, once everybody knows they're there, they come right to a stop before they go over almost.
Right, but there's certain cars that got, you know,
Oh, I know,
Low clearance.
I know.
so you can't have, you
Most of
can't,
them go down around. It's
yeah,
like I do. I go down around so I don't have to drive over them.
I know, but
Just like for the speed limit on that road, there's gotta be some sort of recommendations
Yeah.
on height and distance that you do for that.
And and the placements of them, I mean, I don't know if you guys know where you wanna place them, but I would place one up further, not directly just.
Just above the,
Yeah, it
I
can't be
mean,
an
at least, I
intersection
would
there.
do at least do 3 somewhere down in there. And then, I mean, if there's a problem on Main Street, you may wanna put one somewhere distant from the stop sign, cause you can't put them on the stop sign, and I don't know about the Fairfield end.
yeah, if there was one up above, where it lives up in there, in my corner.
Can't.
That'd give them a heads up to slow down. And another one right where it was, that was a good spot where that one was. But another one right there,
And down by Diane.
and down by Diane and,
Between Diane and the corner.
Yeah, that corner.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there haven't been more cars right into that stone wall on that corner where they come around there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We were down there, well, we did see one day, we were down, Sophia's there,
Oh, yeah,
school districts were there.
one hit.
We were down there on a Sunday doing something, helping put an outfit and stuff like that. And a car come from town down around there and right into that stone wall. Whack!
Yeah.
And some young girl,
Yeah, but-
slow down,
But that's, what I mean,
you know?
you know, we just gotta figure out where we wanna put them for the safety of our community. I mean, that's my number one thing. And.
put one up by Catel's.
Yeah, or down, even down a little bit, but yeah, I've been there somewhere.
I'd put one in there, and then between the Cattell farm and the first house there.
Yeah, oh, Jesus.
It's just
Right
crazy.
in
Yeah,
there,
I know.
and then
Won't do it all.
Oh, yeah.
somewhere along,
The only problem I have is there's a lot of lifetime residents of Sheldon, with some older folks, that I caught hell over putting those there.
doesn't matter, just put them up,
Okay,
just put them up. She's lifetime too, so,
yeah,
I mean, just, you know, we're all, you know, that's all it is, you're supposed to be going 25, you know, even 35, you know, but going
Yeah, if it cut
55,
it
you
down
know.
35.
I mean, you know, it's like, you know,
And I mean, we
I
can't-
put that other speed bump between on Pleasant Street there. You put one up by Catel's, and then you come down, and you're gonna put one between Crow Hill Road and,
The cranes.
well, before you get or Matthews, somewhere in there, so that, yeah. I would divide it up somehow or other in there. I mean, you don't need to have, you know, 5, 6 speed bumps in town. It's gonna get a little bit ridiculous, but.
yeah, that's a problem too, I only ordered a few signs, I ordered 25.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that try to get 2 of them up initially, you know, 2 or 3 of them up initially. And then as far as down Main Street, I don't think you're gonna, coming in from this way, I think the traffic here charges up
from the hill.
Comes in this way, it's stronger than it does that way. Cause there's a stop sign, a head sign out here.
Well, the complaints that we get on Main Street is that they're drag racing off of the Fairfield stop. Essentially, when they come to that full stop, they're just punching it and accelerating all the way down Main Street.
Well, speedboat, yeah.
And then it's one after another here, and we have multiple complaints from the same residents, basically saying the same thing.
So they're drag racing in here?
They'll come to a complete stop coming from Fairfield,
Yeah.
and then completely accelerate all the way down Main Street.
Oh,
And then they had another one that never stopped, doing at least 50. And that was when there was orange cones and electrical work being done. And I heard that when you guys were doing the speed bumps initially, someone was still swerving around you and not really caring for your presence or safety.
Right.
down here might be a problem. On this Main Street drag here, it might be a problem. Cause it'll go right up there on the walls.
Yeah, you need to, well, I think that's part of the reason why they like to put the signs next to them, so that if you put a sign parallel with the speed bump, then there's nowhere to go.
Don't you keep the homemade speed bump signs that you made, the two that you made? So that means we have 4 on hand right now. We have 4 signs, we have the 2 homemade ones and the 2 that they ordered that just came in.
The homemade ones need reflective,
Yeah, they're not, you can't see them at night.
Right.
so I gotta call them.
Reflective paint, don't you?
Yeah, we also take one off.
Well, we'll see what we're gonna do with that. Yeah, I'm not, anyway, I'm just saying that that's the reason why they put the
Start in on
signs
it.
next to them, you know.
Do the best you can. You're saying you need a speed bump right in the middle of Main Street?
No, I'm saying down that way, just like after the pond road, where they.
Right, but what Nick's saying is they're stopping here at the stop sign, and then they're drag racing down the whole length of.
Right. So if they come this stop and start drag racing, if there's a speed bump between there, after the stop sign
They're
and
gonna
the.
be going, by the time they get to the Woods Road there, they're gonna be 75 miles an hour.
Well, that's their problem.
Well, no,
But I can see,
if that's what they're doing, if that's what they're doing.
but I can see why they hang out here, because we've had, residents that live on this main strip that have been sending emails, making calls, showing up to meetings for a year or more,
Right.
more than that,
Right.
longer than I've, not saying that
Right.
takes priority, but longer than the Pleasant Street
Right,
thing has started. We have residents here on Main Street where it's been a constant, like, what is being done about this? And usually it was that we didn't have, obviously, police available at the time. Now that it looks like we do have police available and they're making more, stops and enforcement in a month, or we're in our 16 hours now in some entire townships. I mean, it's probably a good time to discuss when budgeting comes up to obviously expand our policing budget, because
right.
what other options do we have?
We really don't. I mean, we've got to get it under control before somebody gets hurt, and then if it means we have to give the sheriff's department more hours when it comes that time, that's what's gonna have to be done. Because something's gonna have to be done. And like, the speed bumps are, I mean, that sign was a good initiative.
Let's
You know?
slow them down for,
That was the desired outcome, right? We knew that wasn't gonna be a long-term solution. That was just gonna be eventually
Right.
people are gonna figure it out and then they're just gonna not care and keep going past it. But initially it provided some relief.
put that sign up there that sends a ticket.
I'll tell you
One
what,
down there, that those they had.
Yeah.
that was at least 6 years ago, so I don't know what's happened.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've been on top there, registered with South plate number and all that, ticket comes in there.
so with my understanding, we're gonna do the cold pack. We're gonna start putting up the speed bumps, and we have the signs.
I'm guessing there that'll be kind of an experiment and to
Yeah.
figure out exactly what is
It's
right.
better than nothing.
That's right. The only thing that I would say is that you gotta be careful about how high it is
Right.
and the distance, because we don't wanna take, we don't wanna damage like low cars.
Why not? Of course not. But I'm guessing they're 6 inches high in the middle,
I would say,
pretty close, 6 anyway.
The other thing is we should let the town clerk know and let anybody who's answered a phone for the town know that,
We can answer the phone.
well, that once the phones work, that there's going to be
Yeah.
a period of heavy complaints, and they can be
John
directed,
Cesaro told us that when I called him.
and they can be directed to me or to you.
Who's got time? I don't understand, yeah. Why they would, yeah. It's, the town's putting up speed bumps, it's like, it's no,
All they have to do
It's
is read
no-
the goddamn sign and they have
it's
to know that.
it's not hard to figure out why people put speed bumps in.
Mm-hmm.
People are speeding.
Right. Right, if you were doing something you shouldn't have been doing and going through the town at
Shouldn't be
55 to 56 miles an hour, then you wouldn't have to have speed bumps. You
There you
would
go.
25.
Like I said, that's,
So,
Right, so all they have to do is read that sign when they come into town, put the brakes on it. So that, none of this would be a problem. We wouldn't be sitting here,
no,
no?
that's right. That's why there's bumps in the road. Like I said, you should either gotta put a bump in the road or dig a hole in the road.
And bump it, you don't be all right.
Let's put a notice on the website.
Just change all the colors up through there.
Let people know that speed bumps are
Yeah.
coming in between these days.
That would help. Leave them 3-4 inches low like most people do. I don't know if you've been up water
And
tower
maybe get them
over
to
Munson
make
last
sure
year,
they
what a,
handle that
right
speed
in,
down.
if we 105 on the, oh my God, I mean,
Yeah.
the cars, it bothers me, you see the scratches in the road.
Yeah.
okay, so
You
there.
just go,
Go there on
and all that is no compaction. Plain and simple.
over there on one way. I drive back, roll back and forth there.
Okay. So
There
the
used to
other,
be
the
frost
other
bumps,
thing.
but now it's just bump.
Yeah, so the other thing I'm here for, I'm gonna put on my planning board hat and my DRB member hat. I would like the board to approve Matt McCray to join my planning board and the DRB board.
I don't have an
Yeah.
issue with it. It shouldn't be an issue.
You're nominating him? or-
Yes.
Yes.
For both boards, he wants to do both boards.
Matt McCray.
I'll make a motion to accept the nomination of Matt McRae for both boards.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so when can I think about seeing any products about the speed bumps?
I told you Wednesday last time, right?
Yep. Wednesday?
We gotta go all the way to Burlington.
I'd rather have someone mark out where they want them to sign.
Okay.
What's the white line up by your house?
That's it.
That's him.
Oh, I see that white line.
Seth,
Coming in, I saw
if
that.
you read my email, you'd realize
I
that
didn't
Matt,
read your name.
Matt
I
and
didn't-
Seth, they did that. They put the speed bump first there that they made with the cow mat, right there in my
I
driveway.
assumed that was.
And then when I got home, I called Stephen because I didn't know if they thought it was funny. And I felt it was done intentionally because I wanted the speed bumps and I wasn't very impressed with either one of them at that time.
Yeah.
And Stephen called and had them move it.
So we put it underneath the street light because we didn't have the correct signage, so we figured it might help in.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's a good idea, yeah, let's put it under the streetlight.
Yeah. That's why the white lines are there, because he painted the
In
white.
fact, I think those, like in Edinburgh, have got it reflective on the bottom,
Oh, yeah.
so when your headlights hit it, they reflect.
You may want to take your reflective.
Paint that,
paint the bottom,
paint that coal patch white.
Yeah, well,
Or it just
There you
hit.
go.
it'll be a lot
Paint
easier to
it,
paint
paint
the
it
whole patch.
fluorescent or something.
You have that fluorescent paint that you painted
Paint it
together the
fluorescent.
cow mat with, you said, that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we have any issues, equipment-wise, personnel vacation that prevent that being done by Wednesday?
This week's kind of a busy week because we have the mini excavator scheduled for Wednesday. We were gonna, Wednesday afternoon, and we were gonna start another water project on Hill Street and Cross Bridge Street.
I would, if I were gonna put one in, or if you could get one in,
Yeah.
I'd put it up at Bucketels.
Okay.
Because that's gonna, up there it's 30, supposed to be 35,
Yeah.
and it changes to 25 right there.
Yeah.
So if you could get a car going 25 miles an hour there, the likelihood of them be going 60 by, down at the bottom is not, it's not likely to happen.
Right, that's true, let's slow them down.
It's when the car's coming in there and going down that, then it just, your car just accelerates all by itself. So if we can get cars, to the 25, or if they're crossing that speed bump at 15, 10, 15, then they're not likely to be going much over 30 down where they're supposed to be going 25.
Was the mini excavator just Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, Friday we're covered. We're having it moored Friday AM, Friday morning.
Is that where you're gonna bore down here?
Yeah.
Do you need all 3 guys down there with the bore crew to do that?
No, but that's Friday.
No, that's specific, not for me.
Anyway, that's the first one I put in. And then somewhere, if you're gonna put 3 on Pleasant Street, I'd start with that one and then the other one there, but down by Cranes. And then if you need another one, well, but I'm sure that we know someone will be monitoring the situation.
Oh, I'm sure.
No doubt. That's a given. That's a given.
So it'll be helpful to see if there's any results by putting those in where the acceleration begins. That's my thinking.
Yeah, it's true. If you've got one on each end, hopefully that, if not, we'll pump another one, right another one.
Well, the other thing is where you're gonna get the speed is coming off Crow Hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're supposed to stop at the stop sign,
Yeah,
so
right.
they're supposed to be stopped.
No, now
They're
they're
supposed to be
doing
going
donuts.
25 too. We don't have that.
No, but you coming down the hill, you
Nobody stops at bottom of Crow Hill.
they must do some sort of token stop.
Well, they don't. They zing right down through there. I'm surprised they ain't somebody cyclists right to the side of them about 4 now. They come off Crow Hill and on to Pleasant Street, whatever.
They just-
15, 20 miles an hour.
Oh, they just zip right out.
Oh, yeah.
So if the rental's not till Wednesday, is there any way that we can get started tomorrow?
Yeah, we probably can. Yeah, we'll just have to go get some mix.
Can you check on
Yeah, I can get you the specs.
in the messaging or the posting
Yeah.
and see if there's someone that can post up next to them to make sure they're safe while they do it?
Yep.
Okay. That's
Go
all I
down,
have.
go to Enosburg, go down to Enosburg and measure the ones you got down there.
Right, there you go. You know, you gotta do.
What makes them hard is,
Right.
it's the pitch. It's gonna make it,
But that's what's supposed to slow them down.
But those were under 3 inches last time, and it was too aggressive.
Well, that was the Calmat. It wasn't, it didn't have the,
It was still,
didn't have the formal,
it was aggressive though. It
Well, yeah.
wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was much worse than Enosburg. Them in Enosburg must have. That's something.
But you gotta remember too, this is a trucking road out here.
So,
It's not
slow
fun.
down.
That's right.
I drive a truck every day. I have to slow down. It's not a big deal. I mean, trucks have brakes.
I mean, we're not gonna not put them up because of trucks if
Right, I was saying when it starts breaking trucks and parts.
but the thing is, there's speed bumps and there's signs. And as John DeSorio told me, he had 2 complaints. One guy said that he damaged his car over and John asked him, did or did you not see the sign? He said, yes. He said, did or did you not slow down? He said, no. He said, then whose fault is it?
There you go.
If
Exactly.
you can't slow down to the proper speed to go over a speed bump, it's not the town of Sheldon's fault. It's the driver's fault. You have control of your vehicle.
speed bump.
Driver should be doing, that's right, speed
Going
bump.
over that bump ain't gonna break a truck anyone driving up Main Street in Enosburg.
No.
Right.
No,
That is
So-
horrible.
Also,
Main Street is
I'm kind of worried about the cyclists and, motorcycles as well.
They get signs.
they have, that's right, there's signs.
Deal with it.
It's right.
Deal with it.
That's
It's signs there. Deal with it.
I'm more worried about somebody's life getting taken, or a kid or a dog or somebody getting hit.
By the people that are there
Slow
every
down
day.
and do the proper speed.
Let's just,
Well, tonight when we come down, Dan Parody and his wife are walking down the side of the road for a walk. You know? Diane Crane won't ride her horse anymore because of that.
No, and she got hurt, so what? Yeah,
So,
she
you
didn't
know,
wanna ride
I
it.
mean-
So,
I don't know.
that's it. And then I just needed map on my words.
yep.
Okay,
Check, check.
thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
What do you say, sir? How are you?
Good yourself.
Not bad. Busy.
Yeah. got the yellow lines painted on all the last 2 roads last week.
You did all that with the brush, or?
No, if we were to, the state does it, and
Yeah, I know.
I've reached out to them before and actually tried to get their schedule
I know.
prior to paving. We actually lucked out on the East Sheldon Road. It was only days later that I actually supposed to be paved, and then they got painted, so it worked out for us. But I know other towns, they actually sprayed the lines down and then they paved the following week and they were gone.
That's right.
They were back on that the following year. But we, unfortunately, the roads we did pave this year, they're not on. They're all class 3, so they're not on the list. If we were ever to want like white lines or yellow for some of our class 3 roads, we'd obviously have to have a private outfit come in. We put down like it was like 98 yards, like 126 tons of material for shouldering, which was a fair amount. It was like 8 loads or something, seven loads. Mostly up at the Heights area, and Clark Road took quite a bit. Mostly just driveways down on Warren Road.
Yeah.
They worked it out till they. It wasn't like a super awesome job down on P.E.G Road. They had a few breakdowns, and there's a couple funky little seams when you go down there. I'm sure you'll get a chance to check it out for yourself.
Okay.
But they were able to. They helped us out. And obviously, we haven't got the bill yet, but they're making it to the Cook Road. It was going to be on like 200 feet shy, but I think Joe helped us out in the long run. They started one today. I saw them on King Road.
Steve, I talked to Steve.
Steve started mowing on the pretty much the pavement for the second round. I was kind of hoping he got all the before school started, but it'd be close enough.
Yeah.
It's not terrible anyway, because it's been so dry out. So I guess it's up to you guys if you have them paved or if you mow the roads as well. But in my opinion, I don't think it really needs to. I don't think we did a lot. We didn't have to do it last year. I have the brush cutter reserved for the week of September 22nd. It's like $3,000 a week plus trucking. It's like 44 hours of use or 45 hours of use, and usually it takes, we can use it all. There's a car counter up on Duffy now. I just noticed today. I haven't been up there for a while, but we took the opportunity while the roads were wet this morning and jumped on the grader, and we graded Duffy up until St. Pierre. Matt started it out, and I took over. Did Cattell to the 4 corners, we did Warren Road, and put down like 2,600 gallons of chloride. So I should take care of it until fall. Being on those few roads there, as far as potholes, they weren't really terrible. I think it's more with wheel ruts. It's almost like 105 before it got finished this year. It's just like wheel tracks, just from so much vehicle traffic. They got straightened out, but they say you lose like an inch of material a year just between dust and pebbles flying off the road and whatnot. So probably this fall at some point about that, add back to it in certain areas. The 2018, we're taking in the Allegiance around Jericho for the brakes. They're still not what we kind of like to see them, so we're going to bring that down to the international dealer and have them just go double check it because found words we didn't get it back. The 2015 is due for inspection at the end of the month. I'll probably just bring that up there. Found boards. Like I said, the mini excavators ran for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to do the perimeter drain around the salt shed. One of those afternoons probably won't take too long, a few hours, I'm thinking, as well as dropping the grate on it on the inside and then add in. We have a plant mix we're going to put down and tape and compact before we pave it. And then Thursday, we're gonna pre-dig everything on Hill and the other side of Bridge Street. So when he comes Friday morning, he can, if he shows up like at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something, he can be ready and knock that out in a few hours. Then we just have to tie the connections together and we can backfill it and hopefully get out there as soon as possible. Yeah, water sections.
We, on our salt shed, power over there,
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
should we run a wire over there?
Yeah, we could probably do that. I can have Matt get in touch with some conduit, and as long as we secure the conduit, we can pull the wire in afterwards.
Just run it over from the fuel tank?
Yeah, that breaker box right there. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
It's not too far.
if you get some conduit and some,
Yeah.
might not be a bad idea to have
Yeah.
a light over there.
Exactly. And yeah.
A light, just outdoor,
And also, we're planning on moving the liquid tanks over there on the side, and we have a electric pump coming as well. It's just a 110 pump, so it's
You're gonna you're gonna use those tanks on the side of that salt shed.
yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. Then they'll be on the correct side. They're on the passenger side right now, the hookups are, so when we back up to get salt, they'll be right there on the passenger side, we can fill it as well. Instead of dropping trucks around the yard. Just kind of open a thing. They don't really need to be inside anyway, I mean, that's where they've been for the last few years, but we can find space for something else.
Right. You don't really need to be preserving the tank, you're saying?
Right.
That's right. You'll have another bay, more space.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of limited, it's not a huge bay door, we're kind of limited on, I mean, the grader just barely fits in there by inches, but, yeah.
Once the tanks are in there, they're not that easy,
Yeah,
yeah, the big blob.
yeah, it's just a 110 pump, so we can have a little box right there on the side, probably on the back side of the wall.
Right. Get a wire over there and some conduit going up the side of the
Yeah, we'll work that in the schedule.
call Rangeville.
He's way behind. He's way behind.
Oh,
Randall.
oh,
He actually just stopped in on last Thursday. There was a light that was like flashing under warranty. I don't know what it was all about, but he came and changed it out for us for his last job he did. He changed lights in the garage,
oh,
and there was like a underrated flash that was last year or so. It was
yeah,
I wanted to catch it before the time was up.
well, he would give you even if he just came over and told you, you put this in the ground and this in the ground, and I'll be back to wire it.
Yeah. Matthew's pretty good at wearing as a specialty, so if you can just, he's done all our wiring for us so far.
Yeah. Conduit in the ground and
Yeah.
wire it. Anyway, yeah.
Any idea where we are on the rest of the quotes for the shed or budget, like how much we have left?
They were still waiting on sticks to get back to them on trusses, and that's basically after that, it's just a matter of material. But
And this is,
yeah, my great girls.
right, who's building it? Somebody's been designated to build it?
Well,
Not exactly.
no. We have to have a quote on trusses for starters,
Okay.
and they're all, there's only basically one place to get them nowadays. So,
Did they say how far out they are on that? Because
usually it's like a month out.
right now it's almost September.
Yeah, I know, and this is like almost 3 weeks ago when we were going to smoke with them. I mean, just as soon as the concrete was done, I touched base and we were supposed to, I guess it's in stick sands. But I can check in getting lit tomorrow.
So you ordered a 20 or 30-foot rafter? Or?
Yeah, not directly through us, but we haven't ordered anything yet, but.
So we didn't order anything, we just asked for quotes.
Yeah.
So we'd figure out who's building it first and then actually order the trusses. And guys, it'll be a month out when we do that.
Just order a rafter.
Yeah.
Eastburg's got rafters.
Yeah. This was a special kind, like a 10-foot overhang on one side and
Oh,
two on the other.
you wanted, okay, that's what you wanted. Yeah.
So we'll have them hopefully for October 1st.
Sure.
Should.
Then we gotta figure out who's building the rest of it.
I thought Mike Randall was in the,
I think he's our guy.
yeah.
There's not too many people that want to do that. It's all work off the lift. You know, it's 10 feet in the air.
Yeah, Mike Randall was, he
It's
was
not-
interested in doing
Yeah.
it, so
He stopped and checked it out.
he was ready
I
to
called
go.
a few other outfits, but they didn't get back to
No,
me.
Mike would
A lot of people are just booked for the rest of the year now.
Yeah, Mike will do it.
Yeah.
He's got lifts, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Order the rafters.
We'll still be way under budget, I think, anyway.
I do too.
I was gonna say, how much was the concrete bill?
40 for.
It's less than that. It's 30. We haven't paid it yet because we haven't financed it yet, so I think it was 35, something like that.
And the rafters are ballpark, what, did you say 20?
Yeah, I was thinking it's between 16 and 18, but in today's probably be 20, yeah. They're oversized, you know.
So you
You have a quote there for a fence if you want to do that too.
so a slope on one side, so they want it again.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you know that, you can order the steel.
It's gonna be a scissors tape rafter too, so there's nothing in the middle, so we can have clear access.
So you cut down on smashing.
Yeah. I was thinking like a 4-foot elo with some like 3/4 inch pressure treated plywood on the inside.
Yeah. I would say you're right. Or, yeah, is that gonna, looking at the building there, is it, will salt ever get above the concrete?
Probably not, you never know, if we ever get one of those pushers on a loader or something, it could. Put the plywood right to the edge of the sill of the concrete. Then you won't have to worry about it rusting out nails and stuff, you know?
Right, you're saying PT. Yeah. We're good. How do you order the rack? I mean, if you know what you want. You know, order the rack.
Yeah. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of time left in the fall, and the few other outfits I talked to, they're kind of booked up and they never really got back.
Well, just order the rack. If you have to put salt in the other, in the coal patch bag.
Well done for that.
No, but like I said, the worst case scenario is you'd put salt in the coal patch bag.
Yep.
That's,
Yep.
yeah, which is like,
Yeah.
looks like a salt shed anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Anyway. Yeah. Is that it?
We checked out a few loaders that were online. There was one down in like Reagan or
Oh, that one there is in, it's right on.
Rollinson's. It's like 25 years old, but it only had like 2,500, 2,400 hours on it.
No computers,
No,
no chips or
No.
wires. What kind of
27,000 Kawasaki.
Kawasaki?
It's kind of an oddball, but I know the leeches used to have them up in Enosburg, and those things had like 30,000 hours on them before they got retired.
They say Kawasaki, but they're just made out of different components.
Yeah, basically. It's basically just what we need. Yard and a half bucket, or 2.5 yard bucket. It's got forks and a quick connect. Good tires. Doesn't look like it's really that worn out.
It would take a lot of hours away from the backhoe
Yeah.
in the winter. Probably would make the backhoe last a little bit longer,
Right.
possibly.
Possibly.
And where'd you say that was?
Rollington? South of Rollington?
Royalton.
Royalton.
And how much is it?
27.5.
Do you have that in the paper?
This will break the bank.
So,
Even the seats not, usually the seats are all ripped up if they're been used quite a bit. It doesn't look like.
Is the town owned it or?
No, just a private sale.
Okay.
there's a few other options out there that I'm just looking at. Some of the other equipment dealers around here. Borgard's has a 2012 John Deere. 82,000 only has 2,000 hours on it. And United also has a few options as well.
Would this all come out of our existing equipment fund, or we need to budget additional for this?
I'm not sure.
I believe it could come out of the equipment fund has sufficient funds for this purchase.
Well,
I haven't looked at the equipment fund right now.
you have to look at doesn't look like it's been working. The bucket doesn't look that good.
Right.
The glass is all good.
I don't know if it'd be worth checking out or.
You have to drive down and see it.
The dealer, the salesman for John Deere, I spoke with him, or he emailed me a few weeks back, and he had a few down there, but they were town trade-ins. So I'm not sure if they've probably been installed as well as what we'd probably be doing with it. So I don't know if we'd be better off just buying them on that did that landscaping.
Oh, it's a nice machine. Looks like a machine. I think it's really good.
Whatever you look at, I would put it into a load of something to see, make sure the hydraulics work on it
Yeah.
well enough.
To move it. Take a drive down and look at it. Look at the
I
equipment.
guarantee it's even still there, right? That was at that price.
Call them up.
Yeah.
Get a number. I'd have to see the numbers on the equipment fund and then other whatever else. I'm gonna look at the numbers on the equipment fund.
Yeah. Sometime this fall, I mean, I kind of want to do it this fall, that probably won't happen, but I'd like to get like a hammer excavator with a jackhammer on it, and knock down that ledge knob on Duffy Hill, just for safety or like.
It's in the road or in the end?
Yeah, just, it's like a, 1,500 feet up. It's like a rounding hill, but it's a really steep pitch right
Oh.
there.
It's only about
It's
a mile from the town.
Yeah.
Something like that.
If we could knock that down like 4 or 5 feet, that'd be, before we think about paving that road, be a lot better.
Now, that'd be something that our crew can do, or we
We would
hiring someone else to do?
we would hire out someone with we could assist them, because we have to haul all that stuff away, and as well as, probably up there with the grader to take a few inches off it prior to that.
have call or?
I don't know if that would be something you guys are interested in, or should we wait for a grant for next year, or should we?
Well, I would,
It's something I don't think you can really do in the middle of summer. It'd be too dusty, and you know there's too much traffic. I was thinking
how many yards of material are you talking about?
a few hundred.
Really?
I would think say so.
Where is this located?
Is that John Johnson's house?
On the-
It's right at the crest right there. It's the incline on it, all of a sudden you can't see over it. If you were to look at paving or anything like that, it would make a.
Just off the Unisburg line, 1,500 feet up. On Duffy Hill.
Really? It goes up and then it goes like
Yeah, it
this
drops
before it
right
goes
off, yeah.
before the corner.
I've heard of residents up there complaining about, you know, traffic coming over, you know, obviously it's going
Does
too
it-
fast.
Is the rock right in the road?
The road was just built right on top of it.
No, but
Yeah.
is it greater into the ledge?
You know, once in a while you'll hit a rock or something. You know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I just want to, I'd like to take it down like 5 or 6 feet maybe if possible.
Did we use the grant we had talked about that the state had sent the email reminder on Photoshop bill? Did we put in paperwork for that project, or is this something that'd be eligible for it?
I don't think it's eligible for it because it wasn't,
So you're not talking about back
that wasn't on
beyond,
the
you're not talking
map,
back
on
to
the survey, on the
go
survey.
around the
It
corner
wasn't-
by the pond.
They,
No.
That's
Is
the
that-
big area.
Yeah, that could use it too.
Wasn't marked.
Oh, that's
as,
a bigger
Yeah, that's
town.
almost just bad if not worse.
Yeah.
I was thinking one step at a time, at least, you know, on the
I could
paving end of things.
argue with them
Just
about
like
whether
that
it is or
road
not,
next few years,
but it's not on the
Yeah, it's not
inventory
there.
right now, it's one that, they flag ones on the inventory that you're supposed to work on, and the grants funds are supposed to be for those
So it'd
those
be,
places.
so you're not talking about shovel, you're talking about for Duffy.
No, on Shawville.
You couldn't use it for that because it's not in,
Right.
so this potentially could be eligible.
I'd have to, it could be, yeah. I'm not sure if that type of project, I guess I'd have to discuss with them whether, because most of the time they're talking about like shaping the road, like if the road's out of crown, it's got greater berms, it needs to be ditched, it needs a new culvert, those are usually the things. I'd have to talk with them specifically about whether knocking down a hill would qualify under that. I mean, it probably wouldn't.
What's a reduction?
Right. Right. So the whole grant is formulated around stormwater. You get stormwater going off the road, and if we can make a colorable argument that knocking the hill down is going to improve stormwater coming off the road, then I think we could probably get it on the grant. I have to talk.
It's worth asking.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
And like I've met with like Ledge Tech up there before, just because he was on his way through, and have him take a quick look at it, and he was saying like 20K if they were to drill and blast it out.
Swan,
He says they do work for Fairfield pretty much every year, and we could do it without closing the road down. We just do one side at a time. But
Swan just did a much bigger project, the same idea. Swan Hill Road, where they
yeah.
So I talked to Brian about how they did that.
Okay.
But I think it was a few years to do it.
Yeah.
The town's gone out there before,
Like
shoot off the corner there.
yeah, that's not the only place that needs it too.
Yeah.
The end of the pond is that squirrely corner. That's even worse.
That's been worked on before too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the cars will be going faster, and we'll need speed bumps.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
So you want us to build those around or not?
If we can,
Yeah.
I'd try to get one in.
at the very least, you mean,
You're gonna have one to practice on.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Because we have like speed bump ahead sign to
You'd have two, you could have 4 signs,
yeah.
I believe. And
Matt's
then,
gonna put notification on the website.
and then you just orange, put some orange,
We should do safe those. Yeah.
put some orange,
Right.
paint on the bump itself, and then we'll see how it goes.
I already know how it's gonna go.
Yeah,
It's not gonna go good.
I know, but it's not going good to have speeding people either.
Yeah,
You got, it depends on what noise you wanna hear.
right.
I don't wanna hear about,
Right. But
someone get,
that's one resident out of 200.
yeah, but there's others too. She's the one that's vocal.
Right.
That doesn't mean that there's not other people there that feel the same
Because
way.
the last day I put those up, I couldn't get anything done. I was Grand Central Station over the garage.
That's all
Send
right.
it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be complaints no matter what.
Yeah.
Might as well
It's like-
at least try to make it
And
safer.
so you got, so what, is that gonna make people half an hour late for work? No,
No.
it's not. It's, there's stuff like that in the world because we can't obey the rules. And, that's what it is. Pretty much.
It's a shared room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look into going to South, I don't know. Like I said, look
During the
at
day,
look
it's
at
not
that
bad.
Eco,
I think during the day when we're around, it's really not that bad. But it's like you said, it's in the morning, right?
Yeah, it's the rush hour. That's probably the worst part of it.
just slow down. And
Although, I mean,
look at that, get your equipment numbers out
Okay.
and fund numbers, and then call down, see if that loader's available still, and see if it's worth a trip down to see. And
Yeah.
if you got a little more information about those funds that are available,
Yeah.
and then maybe it's worth a visit.
Yeah. I just didn't know how much you guys want to spend, whether it be at that price range or you want to go up to like 60 or 80,000.
No,
So who would work on that? I mean, just because it's an off-brand, who would
Right.
work on it if it needs something?
any number of people. Any
Yeah,
number-
finding parts. I mean, I've never seen a
Parts?
Kawasaki.
Oh, yeah, but it's
Lower,
just, it doesn't have a Kawasaki. The transmission is something,
Yep.
the motor is something else, and the rear ends are something else.
Yeah.
So it's like a component piece,
Yeah, they said they still make parts and whatnot. They said they still make them. I didn't dig that deep into
Yeah.
They're not Burlington, I know I can tell you that.
Right, that's-
Where would you get parts? A lot of the parts, you get them in Napa, in Enosburg. Or
We
you
could-
get them online or wherever, and then as far as anyone fixing it, the local guys that run around here in service trucks there, they come work on it.
We can certainly, if we go down and take a look at it, we could get the information on it.
You're gonna, what's gonna,
We can do an
with
analysis.
2,700 hours, with the hours that you got on it, the motor, depending on, you could ask them, what's it got for motor in it? And it's either gonna have a Yanmar or an Isuzu,
Yeah.
or it's probably not gonna have a Caterpillar engine in it, and it's
Right.
probably not gonna have a Cummins in it. But it could. It depends on where it was assembled.
Right.
So, and the transmission, the hoses. The problem, it's 25 years old. The issues you may have with it is, hydraulic lines.
Yeah, because I mean, once you jump up to like, the age of the backhoe, like, 2018, you're talking like,
Hydraulic hoses.
well, you're talking like 60, 80,000 for one that's been pretty used up.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not a big loader, big loader.
No, but I think the question obviously is just more we make the purchase, we're in favor of it, and then we get it here, and it's like, oh crap, we didn't realize that the nearest mechanic is.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
That's why I understand the
I would
question.
consider that the mechanic part of it is
Some
like,
stuff you can pretty much order everything online now anyway.
it's not the mechanic part's not,
Difficult to find.
you gotta go look at the machine and you can see what the components are. And you'll have a good idea that,
Who's in the area that can service it?
yeah, well, there's a reputation about all of those different components.
Mm-hmm.
The transmission has a reputation. The motor has a reputation, everything, it's like, well, that's a good motor, because you can identify the motor that's in the machine. And the same thing with the transmission. And then if you talk to Stetson there that does all that stuff, or if you talk to different guys there that do service work, they'll steer you away from stuff. It's like you don't want one of them. They're hard to work on.
Yeah.
That's where you get that. That's where you get that knowledge is from people that work on this equipment, and they'll say, "Well, that's not such a good idea because that's a hard to work on machine," or they'll say, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with them."
Yeah, so as long as we ask them before we make the purchase, that's great.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Make
you're
phone calls.
gonna go look at it.
Yeah.
You're gonna drive it, start it, you're gonna kick the tires. If it's still there. That's what I would do. Anything else?
Okay.
Does Seth need to write anything on the Mill Street sewer project update, or that's you, Matt?
That's mostly me. Yeah.
Perfect.
He's not the sewer.
All right,
Seth,
anything else?
Should be it for tonight.
you're not in charge of the sewer.
Anymore.
You got a sewer operator.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, good.
Pretty dry down there, eh?
Yeah.
Not a lot of water coming down the street.
There's one thing I want to address though, nothing to do with sewer, but there's I was notified by a cyclist that was riding the rail trail on the Sweet Hall Road over the weekend, and there's a water leak down there, and it's like a good sized one, so I think it's coming, I think the line from that.
Coming out of the pond.
It's the guys that are coming out of there. It comes from
Whereabouts?
Fairfield Pond.
Yeah, and whereabouts is the leak? Where do you see it?
It's I tried to get out and didn't know exactly where they were. It was on the rail trail on Sweet Hall Road. The halfway down, past Hungerford's place, down there. You get
So the water
It's gonna be on
line,
the right side after Seth's.
it
Like
falls.
if you're going towards Fairfield from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
side, it's gonna be.
Have you seen it?
Because that's a shorter link. For after Seth's house, it's on the left side still. It's a very small area to cover.
Right, I guess the.
yeah, but that water line is by Reynolds' house. That goes down over the hill by Reynolds' house and cuts across.
Right, I was
Rail
just
trail.
notified tonight, or this afternoon, so I haven't had a chance to check it out. I guess the woods is all wet, it seems like the good guys are coming up out of the ground. It's gotta be that line coming from Fairfield Pond. So probably someone needs to do something about it. I don't know who I contact, but.
Well, it's a good.
Town of Swanton.
Yeah.
This is their line.
Well, it's probably no.
Okay, so it's Fulton Village.
I don't know.
If that's the line, if it's by Reynolds' house,
Yeah,
because that's where the train used to stop on a rail trail.
yeah.
Any of the.
It's wherever it crosses Sweet Hall Road right there, where it goes down.
It does that, so you go over the culvert, where we had the beaver activity,
Yeah.
and then the next house that you pass by, that's where the water line is.
Right.
Right there.
It's gotta be somewhere right there. I wasn't
Yeah.
exactly sure.
Yeah. So it's not further down, it's right there.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's gonna affect that side of our road for,
It's on which side of the road is it leaking on?
the left-hand side. It's right on the rail trail, between the rail trail and the road.
On the left-hand side as you.
According to the cyclist,
Okay.
according to the cyclist. I'm not really sure, I'll check it out in the morning.
Okay.
It's somewhere close by where the rail
Left-hand.
trail and Sweet Hall Road intersect.
It's on the left-hand side as you're going towards 105, is what you're saying.
Toward Sheldon Springs.
It's on the uphill side.
It's on the
or-
Sweet Hall Road.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big stretch still, though.
Yeah, I know, but is it in the hill?
It's right
Or
on
is
the
it
trail.
on the other side of the road?
It's right on the trail.
Or if
It's
it's
on
in
the
there,
trail.
okay, if
Okay.
it's in there, that's
It's right next to.
more of the state's problem than ours.
So it's
We're
right
just
next
going
to
to the woods there and into the town. Into the water.
Jesus, we're getting confused. I'm getting more
Well, I'm just saying.
Figure it out.
So you haven't even seen it?
No,
Oh,
Okay.
I was just,
so it's in proximity where Sweet Hall Road is and the trail.
So it's the village of Swan Valley.
Yeah, Swan Village.
What do you call it?
What's his name?
I'll let them know.
Call up Brian and Ronnie, because they're the ones who.
Yeah,
I just don't want to keep running and then come into follow-up people and,
No.
you know,
It's not their line.
take charge of it and,
they're working on it. I haven't heard the fallout on that, but they were, you know, once we said, no, the town's not gonna get involved in that, as far as I know, they have gone down the road of acquiring that. I have no idea
Well, you're gonna
if that's
assume,
actually happened.
I've heard they didn't want anything to do with it though,
Oh,
or
well.
fairness, as far as that goes,
who doesn't?
the farmers.
I think they're,
Well, we found another water source for it.
right. So, I know the last time it broke, Ronnie was involved in fixing it.
He was out in the middle of his field.
Right, exactly. But I think they used his equipment too, so.
Yeah, but-
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think, yeah.
Anyway, sounds like it may be on the.
As dry as it is right now, like, when you got water blurting down the ground, and obviously that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Okay.
Have a good night.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Seth.
Yep.
All right, onward and upward. Water shut-off action and grievances?
So there's a
They're right
folder
here.
there.
Yeah.
So the town clerk, and there's
Already looked at that.
some letters to, customers who have been delinquent for some time.
What's going on with this? Let me guess what this is.
And, maybe we sent them an action, notice that they need to pay,
Oh, these are, okay, yeah.
we asked them to make a plan to pay 50% of their outstanding, or their delinquent bill.
These are delinquent? Yeah.
Right, so there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
list there that has all of them highlighted in half, and the 50% amount is what's written in pen. And 4 of the people that we sent notices to wrote us, basically saying, grieving that, or kind of stating what their plan is to do. None of them is offering to actually pay 50%, they're more talking about
So let's see here.
$650, I'll pay you back when I can.
One of them was
Yeah.
particularly sad
Right,
with
yeah.
their
Right.
cancer treatments and whatnot, and increased medical bills and insurance, not covering prescriptions, and that's sad and hard.
So,
Sure.
So what's the total number of people or number of accounts? How many accounts are affected?
I want to say there's 7 there, but I know there were 4 letters that we received, and I want to say there were 3 others that did not reply, maybe 4.
Okay.
I didn't count.
Otis Daniels,
Maybe 8 of them.
Otis Daniel, he was in Sheldon Springs, but he's not there
No, he
anymore.
bought Bobby Ted's house.
Yeah, I know, but he owes water and he's gone.
Oh, he left? He left?
Well, he's not in the house that he was in, and so that's gonna go bad. Interesting.
So the people who've not responded, that it's like a shut-off notice was,
Was made certified. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what little I know of the situation, the people that are trying or say they're trying to make good dollar amount wise or whatever their
Someone
case may
paid
be.
Somebody paid.
Somebody did make a payment.
They made a payment one quarter. You know,
I would recommend that we try to work with them to continue on making those payments versus the people that may not have responded.
what's the water rate? What's the water rate now? Is it it's 125 or?
See the, where's the notice?
It's in the,
What's the date on the notices? August 21st.
Here, you can see
Yeah, look at it.
it.
Yeah,
It's pretty serious. Wow, I can see that. I haven't seen those in a while. We'll discuss this a little further in executive session. Let's move along,
Okay.
if we could, please.
Town administrator's report.
Okay, real quick, I'll run through this.
Should we sign as we go?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a problem with our phone service here at the town office that fixed, but basically telephone works since Wednesday. I think there was it sounded like there was some sort of accident or somebody cut the line of my plan. And we were out for fixing it today. So. Anyway, that made it real hard for people to get in touch with us. The tax bills went out the week after your last, or sorry, week of the 15th.
With the correct rate?
I believe that, yes, we did. I believe they agreed to at the last meeting. CAI Technologies has been in touch with me. They're the people that we have contracted to do our tax mapping update. They did they have completed, they had taken the old tax maps from 2016 and they've completed the conversion of that to the new format they want to do it in. I had to do a little bit of work to, I went through all of the surveys that have been recorded since 2016 and worked with Justin to get those labeled correctly so that when they're creating those new parcels, they can give them the correct parcel ID for the current owners of them. So that took a little bit of time to get done, but I sent that to them on Friday last week, and as far as I know, they're working on. So they have now begun the process of adding those surveys to the tax maps. Once that is concluded, that will be most of the work that they'll have to do for this year, and then we have them contracted to work next year to do the same thing to update the tax maps with any new surveys that have been recorded since last year. And that is the way that we have it structured so that the price is, we've divided the cost of doing the whole project over 2 years. So, okay. The Board of Civil Authority met last week to update the voter checklist. The parking lot and highway painting was done out here. We went around the parking lot and we put stop bars and stop ahead signs. All three approaches to the stop sign, this stop intersection out here, and also put a new crosswalk in to the town office. That I think was a job well done. They came on Sunday and did it in the afternoon. And doesn't appear to be any problems with it. Have Matt McCrae signed up for water and sewer, for the wastewater course this fall. I think we have another training that we're gonna have the whole crew do on project planning at the beginning of September. That'll be a one-day training at St. Helens.
What's the project planning for?
It's a local roads seminar on highway project planning. I can send you the information. We did have a zoning issue that I just want to let you guys know about that I think has been resolved to the extent that we have a business owner in town who was applying for a license through the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and as part of that, he needed to verify that he was in compliance with local zoning. In the zoning administrator's opinion, she thought that he would, in order to obtain this license and do the work that he wanted to do, she thought that he needed to update he has a conditional use permit for his business now, but it doesn't include the specific use that the zoning administrator thinks would be fitting for the activity he wants to do. Essentially, she said she thought that he would need to file an application and move for the DRB to get that use approved. So there's been a dispute about that. He did not agree with that, but he also pursued the license without first consulting local zoning, which I think he should have done. Anyway, I just wanted to.
So what was the resolution?
Our zoning administrator recommended that he make an application. I think that the license that he had applied for was time sensitive. And so I don't know if it's been denied or not, but I think it would, because he's out of compliance with local zoning. He would be out of compliance with local zoning. The ATF is not going to issue that license until he has complied. So I think that's mostly why he was upset about it, is because there was a time sensitive issue with the license.
So it's not resolved.
What's the business? Gun shop?
Yeah.
So it's not resolved that I know. From the town's perspective, basically the zoning administrator made it that her interpretation of under local zoning is that in order to be in compliance for using the business the way he wanted to, he should be getting a updated conditional use permit. And that's what she told the federal agent, and my understanding is that they were not going to approve the license if that didn't happen.
So was his grievance that her recommendation was incorrect, or what?
I think that's his argument. The problem is he didn't actually make a zoning application, so there's no decision to appeal exactly. It's a tricky situation here where it's not like he can file an appeal of a specific action that the zoning administrator took. The federal government was consulting with us, and we said the zoning administrator thought that we would be out of compliance.
Is there a business at this location now?
Yes, yeah. It's an issue where he is providing a service now under a gunsmithing license for other people. So if you bring a gun to them, he can provide this service and give you your gun back. However, he also sells guns. And according to the ATF, if you do this modification before you sell the gun, that is a manufacturing or a light industry thing, not a gunsmithing thing. Hence the reason why he needs the license.
So if he sold the gun and then offered the service?
It would be fine under his current license. Yeah. So if he sold it.
on the Macy Road?
Yes. Yeah. So if he sold it unmodified now, and the person turned around and asked him to modify it under his gunsmithing license and under the town zoning, because he is zoned for retail sales now, and included in retail sales are incidental services that you can do with retail sales. Our zoning administrator interprets that in doing things, in modifying things so that he could sell them, that would qualify as light industry rather than just a purely retail sale.
Light industry?
Right.
That sounds kind of far-fetched, but
Right.
that would be up to what the zoning administrator has done. She wants to put it in the hands of the board.
I'm not sure if that's, he needs to make an application.
Correct.
One way or the other.
If he makes an application.
It would be into the board, because she doesn't,
She
that's a
doesn't-
rural lands district, so she's not allowed to issue a permit, for that use without.
Right, well, that's her interpretation.
Exactly,
So
right.
I don't see where, there's not really a whole lot more going to be going on here than it's already going on there.
Right, exactly.
So
It's
just-
not,
Just apply and get your approval of the zoning board. I don't
Right.
see there's a problem.
I think the problem he has is that he made the application for the license without first going to, if he'd gone to local zone, to the DRB, made an application,
Well, that's
I
fine.
think they would have approved it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the problem is he applied for
He
the
didn't know
license.
that until
Yeah, right, exactly.
the applicant didn't know that until after the ATF brought that up.
Correct.
So is
That's right.
he aware of it now?
Yes,
So he'll just,
Yeah.
he'll fill out an application and he'll be here on a Tuesday night,
Okay,
I'm guessing.
yep. Okay, and then last week, we had an initial meeting, a committee meeting about Old Home Day for next year. We're looking at either July 18th or 25th next year to do the event. I'm trying to line up a couple of key elements before we can announce which date it would be. Again, this is just an initial meeting, so there's a lot of brainstorming. One idea that came about was obviously tradition. We've had the barbecue, the after parade event at the cemetery grounds, and which we could do again, but there was some discussion about maybe using a different site. One that we discussed possibly using the school. We also discussed possibly one suggestion that we thought might be possible is the land that is down around the Waterhouse Main Street. The town has some land there, and then the parent family has land adjacent that would be a larger. The only problem there being that it's obviously where the well is, so we have to stay out of the immediate radius of the well. Anyway, like I said, it's just a planning
Is there an
stage.
issue with the site that they've been using?
Not exactly. Well, I think there's an issue just in terms of if you wanted to have it gets very overcrowded with people parking there to begin with, and if you wanted to have if somehow it was a larger event, it would be harder to pack more people into that particular area unless you or you can designate a parking area somewhere and then have people come up there. So, and it's also right along the road there, so it's not that people should be slowed down, but obviously people are coming and going on that road all during the event. So,
I kind of like it there.
yeah, because we've always done. Anyway, it was just these are some considerations that nothing's been decided yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, our dead relatives are there.
All right. So there's going to be a follow-up meeting in a couple weeks on Thursday, the 4th of September.
If the Spaldings are still cooperating with that.
Yes.
And we'll try to get paid off so that it's not an issue, and then perhaps some more planning could go into parking
Right.
to, on the other side of the road, perhaps, maybe, or something to that effect. Isn't there a little bit of land for around the monument, or is that not? It's probably.
Oh, where the town hall used to be. There is.
Well,
Some, yeah.
maybe not such a, but the Main Street's pretty wide, so it lends itself to parking not bad, whatever.
Well, again, nothing set in stone.
Yeah.
All right. The sidewalk scoping grant is finally moving forward with. There's supposed to be an initial meeting the week of the 8th of September to be determined, but the VHB, the contractor, will be there. Regional planning, someone from our planning board, and Vermont V-Trans District 8 will be at that meeting as well. I'm working on making an application for a grant for the culvert that we should be replacing on Cook Road, which is just downstream of the one we had replaced on Hill Road a few years ago.
Sure.
There's a municipal highway and stormwater mitigation program that is specifically for larger projects, which if memory serves, that Hill Road culvert was over $300,000 just the construction. So this would be federal money that would be 80% federal /state and then a 20% match for the town. The local match would have to be cash rather than in kind. So if we the grant announcement will go out in September, so I will be working on that fairly soon. And if hopefully, I don't know when they announce when the awards are, but
has that been flagged as a problem down there or what?
I think the culvert is undersized. We just upgraded the culvert immediately upstream. So
Is that the one right at the, if you Heald Road, take a right onto Cook, and it's right at the base of the hill, bottom of the hill, right below that?
yeah, it's where that we had that accident on Christmas Day. A few
Yep.
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
And the culvert is, I think it's an 8-foot culvert now, but I can't recall what we put in for that Heald Road culvert. It's obviously a box culvert with a much larger.
Someone's determined it's too small?
I don't know if an engineer necessarily determined that. There was a stormwater study done about 10 years ago, and I believe it is on that study as being too small. Well, I can tell you it's too small because the people who live next door to it have a wellhead that's about 6 feet out of the ground. That's how high the pump has to be out of the ground. And,
Top of the, okay.
yeah. Elizabeth, I went over last April, about 2 weeks into my job here. I went over there when it was raining and there was water all the way up the ditch past their house. And
Okay, so it's backing up
oh
there.
yeah. So I think it needs to be upsized. We asked the state to do a hydraulic study on that, and we kind of did a partial one last year. So, in September we will do Justin will be here to do some more property inspections for the new builds in town. I think I'm going to order some new car magnets to put on his car to identify him as he's going around town, so people know that he's on town business. The regional plan update. There is at the very bottom of the stack of paper I gave you. There's a letter from regional planning about that, where they've been updating the regional plan. There's a map there that you can look at. And there's an online edition of it as well that you can submit comments to. By September 30th, they want select boards to act on a resolution whether the town will be opting into the changes to Act 250. So that would be basically right now under Act 250. You within designated areas like villages, you're limited to up to 10 housing units before Act 250 is triggered. They are asking the town to consider changing that to 50 units before Act 250 will be triggered. This would just be in those village designated areas, which on the map currently are the red circle around the villages, but after the regional update would be the colored zones that are on the map. So I can ask regional planning to attend one of your next board meetings to explain that, but I think we schedule that for you guys to consider that resolution on the 22nd of September. Give you guys some time to review that before you have to make a decision on that. The town clerk will be here at your next meeting to discuss the proposal she has to hire some professional help for the treasurer role. And she'll have detailed information about that. I think she sent you an email regarding that. So she'll come to the next meeting to discuss that. And I believe that is all I had on my list here.
all right. Thank you. I'll read the minutes to the August 11th meeting. Select Board Water Commission regular meeting minutes from August 11th, 2025. In attendance was Maria Davidson, Stephen Dodd, Nicholas Norris, Richard P.E.G. Others were Kyle Grenier for Northwest Regional Planning Commission, Matthew Stebbins, Town Administrator, and Jerry Vasey from Northwest Access TV. 7:35, Steve Dodd called the meeting to order and read the agenda. Added to the agenda lease agreement for chloride equipment and road cut permit on Duffy Hill Road for Benoit Pothier. 7:38, Kyle Grenier addressed the board regarding the Sheldon Springs Bicycle Pedestrian Scoping Grant. The grant performance period has been extended to December of 26. The state had issues with the form of the contract and town executed with VHB. Kyle presented a revised contract for the board to approve, which includes the extended timeline. At 7:46, Nick Norris moved to accept the revised contract with VHB for completing this Sheldon Springs Bicycle Pedestrian Scoping Project. Rick Piasny seconded, and the motion carried on a voice vote. At 7:50, the board took up a discussion of the quote received from Moore's for boring under Bridge Street to connect the upgraded Hill Street water line. At 7:54, Nick moved to accept the proposal from Morse for boring under Bridge Street, seconded by Maria, and the motion carried. At 7:55, the board took up the designation of officers to enforce ordinances in the Judicial Bureau. Maria moved to designate Jane Lanza as custodial officer, Adam Reagan as enforcing officer, and appearing officer. Rick seconded, and the motion carried. At 8 p.m., the board discussed time and equipment tracking for the highway department. At 8:14, Matt Stebbins gave the town administrator's report. SD Ireland began paving on Casino Road. The highway crew made improvements to Gristmill Park prior to the Historical Society event. The culvert on Shawville Road was replaced, and the highway garage office has been repainted. Hillary Weed has informed the town that she will be stepping down from the Planning Commission and Development Review Board. At 8:26, Steve read the minutes of the July 28th meeting. The board signed warrants 2516 and 31688. Rick moved to approve the minutes as read, seconded by Maria, and the motion carried. At 8:32, the board took up a discussion of professional assistance for the town treasurer. The board asked to see a more detailed proposal. At 8:45, the board took up the 2025 municipal tax rate. The tax rate set at the July 28th meeting included the total approved cost of the salt shed project, but that amount may be financed over up to 5 years. The board agreed to amend the tax rate based on the project being financed over 3 years at an estimated cost of $36,000 per year. Steve Dodd moved to amend the 2025 municipal tax rate to 0.5389 based on the approved budget and finance salt shed article and the grand list of $2,773,372.95. Nick seconded, and the motion carried on a voice vote. At 8:46, the board signed the road cut permit on Duffy Hill Road for Benoit Pothier. The foreman approved the location based on the required distance from the St. Pierre Road intersection. At 8:48, the board discussed traffic issues on Pleasant Street. A speed bump was installed but was removed after it became damaged. The Sheriff's Office has installed a mobile radar sign, and Northwest Regional Planning Commission has been contacted to perform a traffic study which could include this area. At 8:55, Matt Stebbins provided an update to the Mill Street Sewer Project. He will meet with the engineer Robert Clark later this week to set a timeline for the bidding process. Most likely the project will need to be delayed to spring of 26. At 9 p.m., the board approved the extension of the lease agreement for chloride equipment with Innovative Solutions. The current lease for the tanks are amended to include the electric pump to be installed when the salt shed project is completed. At 9:08, Nick moved to adjourn the meeting, seconded by Rick, and the motion carried. Next meeting is Monday, August 25th at 7:30 p.m. at the town offices. All those in favor of this, make a motion.
Only one question is, did the speed bump was installed but was removed after it became damaged? Was it damaged or was there concerns over like it was like intact and then someone went over it and then oops, the speed bump broke, or was there issues with the way that it was installed?
I don't know the answer to
I
that.
think it was that the bolts on it became loose after,
Well, some of the top parts of it were kind of
Started to
flattened
deteriorate.
yeah. So I mean,
I was just
certainly
curious.
it
No,
could be
it's not-
amended, yeah.
no, it's fine. I was just curious, but it makes it
Yeah.
sound like it, like something went over and it broke, and I'm like, that's fine.
All right, so make a motion to approve these minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve these minutes as read.
Second,
I second it.
all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? All righty. All right, the only question I had for you, Matt, is this fleet permits for the town of Sheldon. Is that anything that we need to do?
Oh, sorry, that's include, I don't think there were any food permits.
Okay,
So,
okay,
yeah, we always have that folder, if there is one, there weren't any to approve, so. yeah.
okay. All right, the hazard mitigation plan.
All right, so, I think there's a copy of that here.
Somewhere.
Someone wants to look at it. So the hazard mitigation plan was reviewed by the state and FEMA. They had some, changes that needed to be made to that, and there's, Stephanie Magnan, our consultant, made those changes. So, essentially, because you had, at a previous meeting, you had approved the draft proposal and then sent it to FEMA. Now it has been amended since you approved it, so now it has met FEMA's approval and the state's approval. It needs to be met with your approval as well, for it to be finally adopted. So, I can go over those changes if you'd like to know what they were. I think it was really just more detail on some particular aspects of the plan, but there were any major substantive changes to what was involved in the plan. So I believe there was a form on top of that.
Yeah, right here.
There's an adoption. Need to have signed for the final approval of the plan, but let's see.
There you go.
Local hazards.
So the language is with the appendix C, the certificate of adoption. Is that where the language problem was, or was it within the document itself?
It was within the document. So there's a review form that they filled out. There's specific things that we're not meeting, or for example, does the plan describe the review and incorporation of existing plan studies, etc.? Again, there was a revision to include more data from existing technical information.
Okay.
Arctic cold front, across from
Does the plan describe all natural hazards that can affect the jurisdiction, planning area, etc.? So that was another one that was not met, so that would be section 5 that was amended. Does the plan include one or more actions per jurisdiction for each of the hazards identified in the plan's risk assessment? So, again, more detail was added to include more actions for each of the hazards.
Is there one for rattlesnakes in here?
Right, I think that was included. I brought up army worms during our meeting, Dad. Just
Good grief.
one thing I could think of that was a
That's all right.
invasive thing that would affect our economy here. So,
I've seen all that, sure. Like, yeah. Snow, strong wind, heat.
those are the three the things I just mentioned were the things that were on here as being not met before. Yeah.
Huh?
Thought I saw rattlesnakes for you.
I think if I recall correctly, the major hazards we identified were flooding, windstorms, ice storms. There's a couple different forms of flooding, whether it's alluvial flooding or inundation flooding.
Yeah.
Those were the, we did not, I don't think wildfire was considered, a significant threat. So really, we rank ordered the threats, that we went through all of the possible ones we could think of, rank ordered them, and then we kind of went through what impacts each of those could have on various aspects of it, and rated the likelihood of them happening and the cost of the damage to them. And that's how we came up with, and then for each of those things identified, there's supposed to be specific action items that how to respond to them, how to plan for them, et cetera, et cetera. So those things those 3 or 4 categories I just read out to you were the only things in that, as far as I know.
This is gonna be signed by the select board chair.
Correct, yeah, which I guess I need.
Okay, so.
I suppose it would be better if I could have a resolution motion from the rest of you, and make it easier for Steve to sign it.
Sure. I'll make a motion to accept the resolution.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed?
So we'll have,
All right, pest complaint, Pleasant Street, Laurel Drive.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start off with myself. I got a phone call from a resident stating that rats and rodents, primarily Laurel Drive, I guess, realistically. And I told him I'd go out there and take a look. I did go out and take some pictures of what's the remaining part of a single white trailer that was there, and all the debris that's there, and the grass that's grown up. I didn't go hunting around for any rodents, but I don't have any reason to believe that there isn't any rodents there, the rats, because there's been rat complaints in the general area. Since that point in time, I've been in contact with Matt in reference to that, and because someone came in to talk to you about that situation, and coincidentally, we got an email to the board from Heather Grant.
Yes, I received a
as well.
email from her as well. Yeah.
In reference to rats in the area. I don't know if I don't think she specified where she thought they were coming from, but the other gentleman did specify they were coming from the trailer park, or what was left of the trailer park.
is there any residents in there?
So there are 2 trailers left, and they both have people living in them. The person who lives in one of those also owns the other one that is half there.
Okay.
So I spoke with the trustee in charge of the Cattell Trust that owns the land. So they made the decision to close that park. Some time ago, they followed the process where they, gave everybody 18 months notice that they were closing the park. The park is closed as of April 1st this year. They've been aware of this particular issue and trying to get, and have been in contact with the tenant trying to get them to clean it up. And the tenant's really just in non-compliance about basically everything in terms of paying his lease, taking care of the property.
Yeah, and I had some interesting interactions with them that I previously haven't gone over there. But we had a cat come over to our property, and I knew that it was theirs. And somehow, whoever answered the door said that it wasn't their cat, and that I was ready to call you and get our animal control on it, because this was a very skinny, elderly cat wearing a diaper. Ended up getting a hold of somebody who came right out of that same trailer and came and got the cat, and I'm not sure what the communication is in the side of the trailer, but it was an interesting interaction, to say the least.
The Cattell Trust is taking eviction action against this tenant.
One particular one?
Yes, I don't think.
Are they still living there?
Yeah, as far as I know, yes.
Oh.
Quite a few people.
Well,
And that is where the rodents and
Well, so
infestation
there's
is?
one house they live in, and then down at the bottom of the hill by the Bouchard Road is the other house they own, which is partial, which has been half torn apart. And the rodents are probably more in the half torn down.
Could someone go over there and suggest that they buy some bait?
I don't
I
think they
think that-
purchase many things legally.
I think that the person who made the initial complaint with Rick has been over to talk to them about it. I think that they've been talked to by the trailer park owner, their neighbors,
Good.
and they've just not taken action on
Okay,
this.
so, I mean,
So I talked with the lawyer for the trust. They are, as I said, they're pursuing an eviction action. I think that order is supposed to come down this week, but
yeah,
then with that process could take several months could take months to work itself out. And so I spoke to anyway, I wanted to get the information from the trust about what they've done as the landowners. And they can't go in there and just take somebody's things, and get rid of them, even though, but the town, because it is a public health problem, if the town thinks that this is a public health problem,
Yeah.
the town can take action. However, there's two ways it could do that. The long and painful one is to make a complaint against this person as this is a health problem. And we send an order to them, wait for them to respond. If they don't respond, we take it to civil court and try to get a judgment. Take it to court. The simpler way to do that is for someone from the town to go over there and make them an offer for their pile of junk and see if we can take it off their hand. I talked to our town attorney and he said if you could go over there and say, if they would voluntarily relinquish their problem property to the town, then it would just be between the town and the
Rats?
well, and the Cattell Trust and the
Cattell Trust.
property, yeah, right.
The guy across the road, I talked to him just because I went door to door with his cat trying to find the real owner, and he was very upset and said that there's been rats going into his yard. He was concerned that somehow they're in my yard as well, which I'm sure they are, and I just obviously haven't noticed. But he said he's been shooting them, and so I'm sure that has its own ramifications as well.
maybe poison's about
Yeah.
Yeah.
$50 a pay. You get to pay them.
Yeah, I mean, is that
He's been
'cause
buying those too.
that's a private road? Like it's not anything we can.
They've been
just-
baiting it?
The person across the road the person complaining, yeah, has
Has been baiting
been
them?
around his own house, yes.
Oh, well,
Not down there.
oh, maybe that's not good. That means the rats come over and eat the bait.
Yeah.
So he sees them.
Yes. That's why he's calling, because they're coming onto his property.
He's feeding it.
Yes.
I think he shoots them if he sees them in the road, and if they make it past the
Okay.
gate, he's poisoned.
So- But let me get this straight. So the people where the mess is, if you brought some poison to them, would they use it? Or are they not that accepted?
They have other problems. One of them recently passed away.
Okay, yeah.
Because of those problems, and so I think I'm not sure. Like speaking to the owner of the trust, it sounds like they're pretty exasperated with them. They've been trying to get them to do something about this for at least the last
Well,
year.
I would think that who's in charge of the Cattell Trust?
It's Bonnie Martin.
Bonnie is?
Yeah.
Well, ask Bonnie to go. Is Bonnie oiled up the water? Or
Well, when I talked to her, she sounded like, well, we've done everything we can, and basically now they've got hired an attorney and they're evicting them. So it sounded like they.
ask Bonnie to go over there and poison the rats?
Well, I'm not sure if.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying here. That's the first thing you do if you got. Well, you got to clean the mess up, but whatever. I'm not sure what the answer to that is.
As I said, our attorney's advice was that if the town wants to take action over there. The most simple way to do it would be if they would voluntarily allow the town to come in and get rid of it.
Right, so Bonnie could do the same thing.
Right, I guess I didn't ask her if she's done that or not.
And the other ones, well, you're right, but these, yeah. But basically, this tenant has been evicted.
I don't think
I think it's in
the order has come
process.
down, but I believe it's supposed to come in this week.
Oh, well, there you go.
But then they have a process that they can follow if they want to grieve that, which you can try, but it's,
That would be in, but that would cost them money. They're not likely to do that.
I don't know.
And I think still the bottom line
Then you-
may be, who's gonna pick up the mess after?
Well, then,
Are they gonna or not, or
Well,
does it make sense for us to do it?
it's Catel's mess then.
Yeah, they have a lot to clean up, for sure. And
I mean,
there's
you're
a lot
talking
of stuff that got left behind,
Yeah.
trailers that were moved, and
Yeah, you gotta clean that up.
they should.
It's their property. They gotta clean it up. Or sell it to someone who does.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
yeah.
So your recommendation is that I approach the Cattell Trust and ask them if they would.
Rats are on their land. On the land they're trying to evict people. I mean, it's just, kind of
So
slow.
they're planning to sell that land once it's cleared?
I know that they're not interested in having. I don't think they want to have mobile homes there anymore.
No.
They had hired an appraiser who was working on trying to get a value of it as a
Two lot subdivision.
Right. Yeah.
Which would make sense, because they did there's a septic system that went with that, and there's town water there, so, with town water and septic,
It's been reclassified for on the grand list. There's not a mobile home park anymore. But I think
well, anyway, see what Bonnie can. Maybe,
okay.
we got that stuff done. Tractor supply. Gauge for mobile.
All right, the last two items for old business on our agenda is a financing proposal for the salt shed and fence proposal.
Well, I'll address the sewer project real quick.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I did talk to Robert Clark right after our meeting last time. There was one outstanding issue with that, which was talking to the state about the rail trail crossing down on the street.
What's wrong with the rail trail crossing?
No, he was just concerned that we might need to get a state permit for doing the sewer, replacing the sewer line as it goes down Mill Street.
What?
As it turns out, they don't have a right of way where the state's right of way for the rail trail is, punctured by Mill Street as opposed to being continuous. So I talked to the state people, and they said they'd still like us to keep them informed about when we're doing that, and so that they.
You gonna drill under it?
Well, I guess we could do that.
Or are they gonna dig through
I
it?
think the idea is to dig through it.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, once we.
Is that one of the original pipes there that we're not charged for?
Probably, yeah, because this is the old clay pipe down there. It's not any of the
I
new
don't
stuff.
know if that's in the crossing agreement or not. They're labeled
Right.
somewhere documented here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in the crossing. Anyway, I approached the rail trail and just said, does the state have a right of way? Do you need a permit to be working in that right of way? Because in general, if you do anything, like we did the water repair down in the springs, and we were standing on the side of 105.
Oh, yeah, we'll get a permit.
Well, but we don't. They said, oh, actually, we don't have, our right of way ends, and then there's Mill Street, and then our right of way begins again. So they don't have a right of way there.
They're just asking to be kept in the loop on what we do.
Yeah, that's what they said. I don't know, but so we don't need a permit.
Did you get that in the email?
Yes.
Okay, the road was there before the railroad.
Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, so that was the outstanding issue. Once that was resolved, we were ready essentially to send this out to bid, and we'll probably do that tomorrow, assuming that you guys want to go forward with that. And then, we'll be out for 1 month, so September 26th will be.
Somebody might do that in the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, this obviously is probably not going to happen this year, so
Yeah.
it'll be next spring if we're lucky. But
So is there a motion for that?
I'm not sure if we need a motion or not.
It's like us approving and getting the bid. We're just gonna do it. I'm just asking how to move along. If we don't get a motion, great.
Without objection, I will ask you to put that up for bid.
There you go. Objection.
Yeah, okay, all right. But that's all there is to that.
All right, and the last piece is regarding the fence for around the town garage.
It doesn't look like it's around it. It looks like the front.
Front. Well, 230, well, yeah.
All right, so,
230.
sorry, so this is what I sent them, because we had something that you guys wanted to discuss a couple of different options, so I'm not sure how well that is to read, but that shows you kind of the rough distances around it. On the quote, you'll see that it says that, ARPA says it on there, but basically whatever the per foot cost, they would keep that steady for whatever amount of fence you wanted.
Gotcha.
So I asked them to put the widest possible gate on the front of the property.
Yep.
And then I think they based their the amount of the linear foot on the thing I sent them. But
8-foot fence was 230. Well, yeah, they quoted us there 230 feet. That must be the front.
I would assume so.
so it's from basic to the front of the salt shed on one side, it'd be about 150 feet back on the property. Front of the property's
Oh, I see what you did here.
Yeah.
150 feet wide, 300 feet long. So, what's that come out to there by
It's only 200.
price per?
doesn't include the gate. So
Yeah. 44?
44 is the cheapest per foot.
$44, is that what that is?
Yep.
For the 6 foot.
Yeah, and then the 8-foot would be
Plus the gate. Yep.
So that would be like 600.
I guess the question is whether you want to use the garage as part of the fence or fence off the whole front of the property.
Well, we mow that there, so you can't, we mow along the building, so
Right.
if you fence the building, you're not gonna.
But I guess on this side, if you put your gate off of here,
Oh, I
or if
see.
you put it all the way across the front of the road frontage.
Yeah. Well, they park here.
Right, that's why I figured you wouldn't do that. You'd probably just kind of have it come off the building.
No, you're gonna, yeah.
So they'd be parking on the outside of the fence?
Correct, yeah. And then you could get into the garage without opening the fence, basically. You go through the door and then figure out would be.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, because otherwise you're gonna open the gate to get into the property and do anything, to park.
That's good.
Well, yeah, right. I'm just saying it would make it difficult to park your trucks between the fence and the building because it's not that big. Your fence would be like immediately off the road, so yeah.
You're right on the road there.
There's not a whole lot of space.
I see. Oh, I see you got two lines here.
Right, so that's why I gave them,
I see what you're saying.
yeah. So in one scenario, you could park your truck and then you go in the garage and then you could open the gate, or you either gotta
I see what you're
open the gate
saying.
and then get into the garage.
So then over here, the fence on the other corner here, it would come back to the corner of the garage instead of right to the road.
Yes, yeah, that would be, yeah, you probably put a little gate over there too, so you can get through there with a lawnmower.
6. chain fence plus a gate.
Yeah, if you went all the way around it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I think we had discussed possibly just going back to the salt shed on one side. And, you know, have it come off the salt shed on one side and go, so you'd be fencing off half the property instead of the whole thing. But,
So I guess we probably should see where our budget is, right?
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
$40,000 to put fence around
Well, I know, even the half of that, or whatever you're gonna do. We need to know where the budget is.
that? Well, we have an idea, and, we could do that on the ballot next,
Yeah,
or put it in the budget for next year.
and then add the gate, a gate.
Put it in, the whole thing, so. Because I think it's a good idea, just with the, you know,
Yeah,
Very much so.
there's a lot of, yeah,
we've had enough things taken from that location.
well, you know, it's just,
It's town property.
it's loose, yeah,
So
right.
going with the 8-foot one as well.
What was that more? How much more was that per
The-
foot?
he did ask me if we want razor wire on it.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Well,
I
if you
mean-
go 6 feet, you better.
Almost 20 bucks.
Because
62.
Yeah, I mean, if
I can stand up and see over the top of your fence.
Well, we got these numbers here or there, we can,
Yep.
I said I thought
we can,
better, but that's why I had to put both. So.
yeah, I don't know that 6 feet. If you're trying to secure the area, 6 feet's not. I can't hop a 6-foot fence, but I think plenty of people can.
But you think about it, you're like, I might be able to.
depends on
I mean,
what was chasing you.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Depends on your motivation. Okay? Yeah.
All right, any other discussion?
No, I guess not.
Okay.
Go to executive session.
Yep, make a motion to go into executive session and then exit the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.